Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall is 11:30 on Tuesday night. Back with a look at the card for tomorrow in Ascot, Royal Ascot, Day 2. I'm here in a B&B on College Road, not too far from the rugby ground. The people, my tour crowd, are in the Galmont. I wasn't put up there. Bit disappointed with that because 3 or 4 other drivers with less of a gang with them that was put up. But at least I stayed at this place before. I had a single bed, I have a double bed tonight. We're gone at 10 to 9 this morning out of Killarney, and we made the 10 o'clock just by inches. Last one on at 10:02 at the ferry in Tarbert, and headed for the Cliffs of Moher after. And quick sandwich there at the shop at the head of the Doolin Road, and landed to Galway. So it checked into us about 3 and brought them up part of the cathedral, and they went into the cathedral and they walked about Galway. And I picked them up at 7:30 and I dropped them at Trad in the prom out in Leisureland. And that was at 8:30, so I went for a bit to eat after that. I didn't go for a pint, and was looking at the race cards for tomorrow then to try and get a couple of winners. We had what today? Docklands. Remember the day we backed Docklands, and he was bet by a head. 3 runs back. We didn't take him on then, or we took him on with Persica. We were on him in Epsom. I was watching that. I sort of had it up beside me on the bus to my right, and I didn't know which had won. I was hoping Brazilian because I knew a few people had it backed that I was talking to on the boat, on the ferry, and at the breakfast table this morning. But bookies saved money again. Didn't get a right look at that. We were well back. I think we're 8th or something. O'Brien's joke was impressive. Up the middle of the track. I actually looked at that cop pull last night, but I thought he was too big of a prize. The Australian horse, as I said last night, I couldn't see the 2 runs this year and I've seen somebody put up there that he wasn't in the same form, first time blinkers, just maybe gone over the top of it. Great training performance by Jim Goldie. He was racing off 67 not that long ago and beating off 67 and winning then a Group 1. Frost at Dawn, that loves top of the ground, that campaigned out in Maidan. Then we had the performance of the day in Field of Gold, given a great ride by Colin Keane. Henry Matisse, badly drawn at the back of the pack, made up a lot of ground. There is a good race in that. I'd like to see that going to America or top of the ground. It's interesting where they'll campaign it next. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Irish trained horses here, 2nd, 3rd and 4th for Joseph O'Brien. Ascending, we backed that a long time ago in a maiden hurdle in Leopardstown when it didn't do any good for us. A few of them has won lately. I think that Johnny Manzi we backed it a couple of times. He won at 20 to 1 in Downpatrick yesterday as well, or was it the day before? Norbering, the Galway hurdle winner, that'll put it right for that again. I don't know what it went up from winning it last year. Divine Comedy, I thought that needed more cut on the ground. We were on that and with cut on the ground before. Reaching High, I thought was an absolute hard luck story to the known world. Hacking and cantering around the place. and couldn't get a run anywhere. I think it was a bit tricky where they'll bring that, but that has staying races written it all over, but I thought it was desperate unlucky. We had King's Gambit, another one that was drawn a bit not on the right side. Came from too far back. James MacDonald as well. There was heap of money for that to sevens last night. Same ownership won the race with Hatem. And we had a winner in the last and a place. Barnes, so I done the reverse forecast actually. I thought he might hang on. Beating ahead and a length and a half. Samurai, former old horse of us as well. On to tomorrow. We have the Queen Mary first off. It's been won twice in the last 4 years by an American horse. George Weaver won it a couple of years ago. Leslie Ward twice over the last 5 years. I think I'm going to give a chance to that American horse. Lennilu. Patrick Biancon, the Frenchman, Louis says. It ran when it won in Gulfstream in 56 seconds. And it hosed up. Even if it runs in 58 seconds, it'll have a right chance in that race. It's an each-way bet. True Love, the form of to second in that race, that the winner, O'Brien's winner today. Well, but they're paying 4 places. Lennilu is the selection. Somebody put up on a clear point, why do I back in handicaps? At the big races, big race meetings, I always give my opinion. Some people agree with it, some people don't. But I just say what I have, my bets are. There was a couple of days I forgot to put up each way behind, or about the favourite. The Queen's Vase, a mile 6. O'Brien has done fairly well in this race down through the years. Won in 13, 15, 16, 20, and last year with Illinois. We were on good old Illinois. He's going in the Cup this year. He's the Fav. If you look at those, Illinois, Gregory, Elder of Camari, Santiago, Deshan Willoughby, Kew Garden, Stradivarius, just all great household names. And this year, I was looking, it's like that Shackleton, I thought that was a winner waiting to happen after his run first time out in Leopardstown. A fairly big bet in Tipperary, done no good, and I went sour. I went to start against it. What did I pick here? I picked the French horse actually. Asmarani. Because if there's going to be a decent horse coming out of this, albeit it should be alright on the ground. But to staying on, and they weren't that busy on it. Mikel Barcelona, so you want to get the finger out tomorrow.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Failed is
very loud. That's him in the egg can colours. Sort of gets squeezed here for his bit. Then he runs on. This had sort of the run of the race, but he never gave him a blow at the twig at all, but he was staying on. That was over a mile 2. Step up and trip should suit. He's bred for stamina. Out of a seat, the Stars, Mayor and Southsass breeders, or Prix de l'Arc, both of them. Will we check the prices? $92. That's Scandinavia. And Carmers. They won maidens in Ireland. The Carmers won a second time. It's 2 for 2. But Scandinavia, he seems to have improved this year. And the fact that O'Brien sent him over twice over to England last year, he does that with ones he's sort of his targeting races. I think Scandinavia, I seen him at 12 to 1 there with Hills. He might run better than the other one of O'Brien's. The Duke of Cambridge, complete outsider of the field, and this won for us last time out. Crimson Advocate is 28 to 1. We're paying 3 places today, the 8 is in it. That won the Queen Mary a couple of years ago. We ran it the last year, just got up to win by a nose in Goodwood. But when it was with George Weaver, that was the American one that won. Beat Relief Rally. Only ran once last year as a 3-year-old. Like, it loves top of the ground. It's American bred. Cinderella's Dream is the class horse of the race, but you could split the stakes back at each way, sort of 3 places, and then without the favourite, I think it's 18 to 1. Probably on the 420, the big race of the day, the Prince of Wales. It was a horse that we were on the last time. It was beaten behind Los Angeles, Almat, but Almat, the twice I backed it, actually, it was best, and the one time I didn't back it, it won at 40 to 1. I'm going to give a shot to Ombudsman. It's an each way bet. It ran well enough the last time, and I did say that he desperately needed the run. We were on Almercan, and I thought that was going to run on this, but it must be kept for the King George. But I thought it was eye-catching. We took came to win this race, and it just faded. Each way bet on Ombudsman brings us to the Royal Hunt Cup. First time blinkers, Qirat. We were on it a couple of times when it was bet. You have to be either drawn higher on the wings here, but to second there to Hickory. We were on it in Ascot in last October. But a 4-year-old drawn high is the form in this, and we've a horse that won a couple of times for it was the horse I was going to put up as an each way anti-post bet last week. It was 7s at the time. My Cloud. That's a half brother to Palace Pier. Or was it full brother? Definitely half brother. Could be a full brother. They were the 2 that I'd picked out. 4-year-olds have a great record in this race. I think 7 out of the last 10 have been 4-year-olds, have they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 out of 10 4-year-olds. Going on a not complete outsider here, 4-year-old as well. There's a 24. I had 2 picked in this. Francophone at a huge price. The reason being it stays further than the mile. It's a 10 furlong horse, so it'll be staying on. Might at least grab a place, I was thinking. but it won a listed race in Goodwood last year, and then had it in a Group 1 behind Blue Stock, and it was too much. I don't think it stayed the couple. It'll be staying on late. Trying to get a couple outsiders, and there was another one down lower in the weights. Ah dear, well, that's Serialise. I think it was Serialise. Jessica, she won it a couple of years ago. No, I'll put it up in the description when I get time. And the horse I picked in this is number 2, drawn wide, Azizam. Ran well enough, I thought, first one. You could pick 3 or 4 different ones, and you still mightn't have a place. That's the one I picked anyway. Big prize, Azizam. So it was the terrible connection. Some of them were saying this morning the broadband, Wi-Fi, whatever the hell you call it, in Earl's Court. That was the reason last night, or the last couple of nights, I had no internet. So the gadget in here, the Gangle or the Google or whatever you call it, is working anyway. Anyway, about to get this into the oven, it's getting late. Bash the bookies over and out.